Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Asaph Cafe. I am your host, Asaph Adonai, and on my right, our veteran guest and co-hostess, Patti Reed.
Hello.
And we're on the virtual set now of the cafe. It's the same show. And in this version, we're going to play Name That Tune. We're going to be a little bit more relaxed and have fun. And we have again, on my left, Linda Brooks Curtis and Jack Wiegman. So we're going to have a lot of fun. And this time I'm going to do a Sinatra tune to get us started before we play Name That Tune. Thanks for coming again.
Pee-wee's gonna sleep this one out.
That's fine. Sinatra's Night and Day.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Nice.
I know this. I know the song, but I don't know the title.
I like Cole Porter.
Well, okay, now when we play this tune, I may not necessarily start the song at the beginning of the song. And you have until I stop playing to name the song. And the first person to get 3 points wins. Patti will be the scorekeeper, so it'll be just you two.
1 point per game.
No. 1 point per song.
Okay.
The first one to get 3 songs wins. And like I said, it can be anything. I can start at the beginning, or I can start in the middle of a song, or wherever.
Too
until I
bad we didn't know
stop.
the list of his songs that he knows. That would
Oh,
speed
no.
it up.
I've got them in my head.
We need
so.
the sheet.
All right, let's just
Category.
get started. It could be a song of the present, past, it could be a commercial, it could be anything.
Uh-oh.
You never know what I'm going to play.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start out.
Mr. Rogers.
Not you, them.
Oh, them.
You're the scorekeeper.
All right. Sorry.
Okay, well, that was a warm-up. That would have been interesting to see if they would have got that, too.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Linda and Jack, and first, so you keep track, you and Pee-wee.
Okay.
Pee-wee's going to be the mascot here.
She's sleeping it out.
So. Okay, ready? That was Star Trek. I'll do it again.
He told me not to guess, so.
You don't recognize that?
Well, it's a little bit different than I remember hearing it.
Well, you're probably like,
Yes.
I missed a note there, but okay. Now we're ready. I'm warmed up. Let's play this game and see how it goes.
I'll try.
I'll stay out of
Okay.
it then.
Yes, no, because you would know them all. This is between the first 3. We'll get you in a
Oh.
game.
I'll drop you hints.
No. Okay.
Okay.
So that Star Trek theme was our Pee-wee's mascot song. So
Of course, I'm
now
psychic,
that
that
she's
changed.
sleeping. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Okay.
tell them. Let them figure it out.
I can hear all the lyrics, but I don't know the name of the song.
You recognize the melody?
Oh,
And the
yes,
cat's
but
in
the-
That is called
cradle
the
and
Cat in the Cradle.
Yes.
And the
Very
cat's
good.
in the
Now
cradle
let me finish
and
your
the
part. Yeah, you'll probably
silver
recognize it
spoon.
now.
Little boy blue and the man in the moon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon.
Recognize it now?
Well, who was the original artist?
We'll get together then,
Harry Chapin.
son. You know we'll have a good time there.
There you go. That's Cat
It
in the
was
Cradle.
killing me. I really wanted to help you with Michael Martin Murphy and
No,
stuff.
I don't. No. I want you to figure it out. So, and if they don't get it, then it's a 0 for each.
Okay,
So they didn't get it, so it's just 0.
All right.
No, nothing there. And the first one to get 3 points.
That means we're going to be playing this for 5 hours.
No. This segment here is Name That Tune. We're gonna
If you
make
know
it
sign
relaxed.
language, I might be
and
able
fun.
to sign you.
Okay, ready? We'll try this again.
Sounds like Tiny Dancer.
You don't recognize that, huh? That is a song called Cotton Candy by Al Hurd.
Really?
Do you recognize it now?
I've heard of it, but I didn't know the name of it.
I think it featured a trumpet in a lower key.
Well, I'm not a trumpet player, but see, that's part of the song, so I'm just doing the melody.
I know, but that's why I didn't recognize it.
Yeah, okay, well.
Excuses.
Okay, but that's called Cotton
And you're
Candy.
gonna now you're gonna have to put that keyboard on instrumental, like
Well, it
brass
doesn't have a trumpet.
section.
No. You have to make it. All right, let's try this song here and see if anybody gets this here. Recognize it?
I certainly do, but I can't name it.
I know that one too. It's been on a lot of commercials.
That is called The Lonely Bull. Herb Alpert, Tijuana Brass.
Yeah, I've heard it before.
Okay, well, we're stuffing our guest here, aren't we?
Yes.
This is what's making this
Better
fun.
believe it.
Okay, well.
Oh, I know. Pick something from Elton John.
Oh, okay. I don't know if they'll know that, but we'll see. Okay, maybe they will. Okay. Recognize it?
Yes, I hear all the lyrics, but I can't remember the name.
No, it's not much, but it's the best. I can't.
This is my song.
You're close. Your
Her
song.
song.
Your song.
Elton John.
Can we give her half a point?
Well, half points don't work, so we have to give her a
Okay.
0. Isn't this fun? I'm just picking stuff at random here. Let's try this one here. Here we go.
This one's for you.
Rawhide.
Yay!
She got it. All right. Linda got 1 point. That was rawhide.
She got
I'll
one and
do
a
it
half.
again. Good for you.
She is not stumped.
giddy up, go up,
Yeah. I would have probably
rawhide.
stopped before that part.
Rolling, 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 keep them puppies rolling, rawhide.
Okay, so Linda has 1 point. Let's try another song here. I'll do it again.
I know
That
that
is
one.
Alley Cat.
Yep.
The name of that song is called Alley Cat. Well, nobody got a point on it, but that's Alley Cat.
He was hiding her face.
So Linda has 1 point. Okay, well, somebody will get 3 here. Let's keep doing this here.
Supposed to be stump the band, but
No, there's no
And
band here,
something
so
else.
well, that's the idea.
reverse
And,
psychology in the finest.
Okay.
Stay there.
Anniversary waltz.
Yeah, that's it again. He got it.
All right, cool.
That's the anniversary waltz. All right, you got 2 points, and Jack, you're still at 0. I had to try to help you out here. Ready?
Take me out to the ball game.
Ah, she stole the
Yay.
glory.
All right, we got a winner.
Actually, he was saying it at the same time I was. It's a tie.
When I listened to, I was a radio announcer for years. When
Let's
I
do a
listened
tie.
to
We'll do a
tune,
tie.
I listened to the
Okay, we'll
rhythm.
call that a tie.
Yeah.
We're gonna give that a tie. So that's a tie. So nobody gets a point on that one.
Okay.
So Linda has 2. You still have 0. Let's see. We have to.
Well,
see if we
actually,
catch
he's
up.
got 1 and she's got 2.
Oh, all right.
half.
All right. I see. Okay, that's a good way of doing
We'll give
it.
her the half.
Okay. All right. Well, so let's see if we can get this song here.
That's a Meow Mix commercial.
Yeah, you got it.
It's called Meow Mix.
It's called the Meow Mix commercial song. You got it. I'll do it again.
My cat liked that.
Perini Chow Chow. Chow 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 is another one.
And so on. You never know what I'm gonna play. You guys want to try it again?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get another game going.
Okay, let's draw the line.
First one to get 3 points. See, now so much time's gone by. 15 minutes have already gone by.
JW and LB.
My, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, like the old saying goes. Okay. Let me think of a really good one here.
I know, I got one.
Oh, okay. Let's see if they'll know this one. That should have been a dead giveaway. It's still rock and roll to me, Billy Joel.
I sang it low. I should sing higher.
Yeah, but you can't have the words because they
I
didn't get that.
know.
Oh, that's a little unfair. Okay, let me really think of something here. Oh, here's a good one. Ready?
What? We have to wait. We have
I
to wait.
remember you.
Close.
You can do it. You can wait. Just wait.
Getting sentimental.
That's it. Getting sentimental. Sentimental. That's the name of that song. Sentimental Over You.
Aha.
Tommy Dorsey, the trombonist.
She's
Well, maybe
leading.
that's my era.
She's leading the way. We have that knack, though. Our people. It's just the way it is.
There you go. Sentimental Over You. Tommy Dorsey.
Ah.
What, 1940, I think it was? Something like that? Maybe even before
Oh,
that.
I got one you can try from. What a wonderful world.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
This one
Okay.
will be good to get.
That should have been a giveaway.
Eyes of blue,
Oh,
shadows of green. I see you, teardrops from a stream.
what a wonderful life.
Yeah.
No, you're close.
And I
What a
think to
wonderful
myself,
world.
what
I
a
think to
wonderful
myself.
world.
Yeah, that was good. That was good thinking, Patty.
And I think to myself,
So Linda
what
won the
a
first game, and she has
wonderful world.
She has 1 point, and I can't have her do it because she would know them all. So that wouldn't be very fair.
I cheat because I'm psychic. I pick brains.
Well, it's just that you know more songs than they do.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, let's finish this. You got
Oh,
one
I know.
point?
My funny Valentine.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
Hey, you're ganging up on me, you two.
My funny Valentine.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, ta-da!
I'm sorry.
Since it's still February.
Yeah, that was my funny Valentine. Well, you got 2 points. Oh, we gotta get Jack
And
some points
she's,
here.
look at, she's just zooming along.
Yeah.
He's trying to zoom along with her, the passenger seat. Ah!
All right, here's a good one. Let's see who gets this one. Ready?
Mickey Mouse. Oh, he was saying it at the same time I was.
Okay, let's just get my tie on that.
Okay, all right, sounds
That's
good.
the Mickey Mouse Club, the theme to the Mickey Mouse Club.
Okay, we'll go down here.
All
Okay.
right. Let's see. Oh,
Oh, this will be the tiebreaker because she's got 3.
oh yeah, okay. All right. Here you go. I'm just, I
Oh, I
want
know.
to. No, I got it. This is a good
You
one.
going?
Here.
Okay, okay.
Chances are.
Yes.
Oh, she got it. Johnny Mathis.
You don't know that song, do you? Chances are.
Chances
do.
are,
What's the name of
though
it?
I
Chances
wear
are.
a funny grin.
Johnny Mathis.
It's the way it is. Some things are just not in our
Chances are. So, how do you like living in Missoula? You two.
I was born here.
You were born here.
And I went away and spent 30 years fighting to get back.
Where did you go to? Where did you move to?
Forgive me?
Where did you move to?
What did I do?
No, where did you move to from Missoula?
I moved to the Silver Valley, became a miner and a broadcaster and an ordinary ne'er-do-well.
Ah, there you are. That makes
And
sense.
then,
I'm a Missouliite too. I'm from
I
Missoula.
played Happy Birthday since you were born in Missoula. That's perfect
I
song.
grew up in a small town in central Montana, Stanford,
Okay.
and I went off to college, and then I taught, and I did most of my teaching in Las Vegas.
Really?
After some time in Los Angeles,
Okay.
and then moved to Big Bear Lake, California, which you should
Okay.
visit,
Mm-hmm.
and moved back to Las Vegas and continued teaching. And
What did you teach when you were in Vegas?
public speaking
Wow.
and English. And
I used to
theater.
play there, so I find it interesting.
And then I needed to move this year, and I, at this point, only have my retirement income.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided I needed to move into a retirement type place. And
Very
nothing
pricey.
appealed to me. And my son said, "Mom, why don't you go where you really always wanted to go?" And that's Missoula. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah, well, the reason I moved to Missoula, well, I should say Montana in my case, I got tired of the big city. I got tired of going 5 miles an hour on a 5-lane highway every day and taking 2 hours to get home.
Well,
So one day I just said, I'm out of here. I'm histo.
Well,
I
moved
the
to
last few
Montana.
years, I've on and off been in the East Coast, and no offense to the East Coast, but I wouldn't raise a dog nor a child there. The way that a lot of things are going on, it's
Oh, yeah.
just unrealistic.
And the same thing with Las Vegas.
Yeah. Well, I when in New
This
York,
point.
I found
I
out
know.
between the toll bridges and filling up your tank by the week, that's about $500. And then to move into just a buffet or a one bedroom, it's about $800 times first and last month, so about $2,400. So you're paying for the first month of every month. You're paying a minimum of almost $3,000 just to move in, and then you're paying $2,000 a month to just go to work and be miserable and be unhappy. And there,
A lot of your time commuting.
yeah, and the toll bridges, I believe that travelers and unless they're working on the bridge, they really should not charge a fee. But if you live there, yes, but still, if you're already paying the gas price and that, you're already donating to going to work.
But there isn't any place else in the whole world that has quite the same scenery or climate or people.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to come back.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was kind of comical. Ireland is an island, and so is New York. But they budget better. It only took them 3 years to pay off $15 billion, to the economy. And we're still not there, and New York yet handles our money. So I kind of find that a little bit ironically comical, Because it's an island within an island. A lot of people, they moved to Plainview, New York, because it got to be too
mean
much in
Manhattan?
Manhattan. Oh, yeah, Manhattan is just too outrageous now. It's just wow. It's a wow moment.
Yeah, it's it's funny you mentioned that raising a kid in New York. I have a cousin that lives in New York. And when I first moved to Montana, I said, you got to consider moving out here because he was always fussing about, I don't want to raise my kid here.
Right.
But
But yet he
people
puts
always
up
say
with
they
the
wanna do
misery.
something, but then they never do anything to change it.
Yeah, they put up with the misery, which,
You know what I mean? I mean, people always fussing and complaining about something's not right. They want to change this, but they won't act on it.
And I'm
I
not-
tried to get my cousin to move out here. She's grown now, the little girl he raised, but he wouldn't budge.
I tell people all the time, I said, because we have the U.S. Constitution in spite of the state constitution, first four amendments tell you clearly if there's something not right in your politics or the way you're living at, you really don't have to put up with it. Even in spite of what you've been led to believe and stuff, you actually run the show. And a lot of higher up titles don't like that, but it's the truth. And we the people are the ones that make the whole thing work or not work.
And the 10th Amendment.
Yeah, and that's where it comes from, is the
Whatever
Ten Commandments.
powers are not directly delegated to the federal government are the realm of the state itself.
Right.
Each state.
We own the courthouses and everything.
Not this stupidity of having the federal government.
Right, and it's not
encroach
about
on
a religion.
everybody.
It's not about a religion. It's about how
take
you are as a
private
person.
land and put it in public domain.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
this happens.
Well, while you guys are debating that, I've got to have fun with
We're
Beethoven.
not debating, we're agreeing.
But
I
like when
understand
they
that.
bring up Washington,
Moonlight
D.C.
Sonata.
Yes, while you guys are talking about that.
Okay, cool. Let's like
that
Washington,
closer?
D.C. should have been
No,
Washington,
I just
N.A.
did
the
mine.
whole time. You know, because this is North America, not Colombia.
Do the teardrop,
So, as long as people understand, and teenagers and everyone who watches this show, remember the first four
It's been so long since I've
amendments.
done it, I don't know if I could remember it
And
now.
if you don't agree with something, you have the right to speak out. When you're told to shut up, speak louder.
You got it. That's
Be
it.
flamboyant.
I keep hearing that over and over and again.
I'd have to work on that one. It's been so
Okay.
long since I've done that. Let me fake my way through it.
That needed to be brought into the program.
Something like that. I can always fake my way when I don't really know a song, but
Well, that's like Billy Joel. That's one of the
Right,
reasons he was having an off moment when he wrote the song "We Didn't Start the Fire," because he wanted people to catch on that if you're going to get the energy going, get it going, but get it in the right direction so everybody can be unison and all engaged in something that will make a better tomorrow. And it's important. Without tomorrows, we don't have it today.
this is the Prelude in C minor by Chopin. Let me do that again. I didn't like the way I did that. Hold on.
Soon. Soon.
That is called the Prelude in C minor by Chopin. It's just nothing but a bunch of chords, but they're beautiful.
I know that
Very
song.
evocative.
And Chopin's a very good pianist.
Yeah, you don't have to be all flash and flare to sound really nice on certain compositions, and this is a good demonstration.
Well, you have to have fast fingers when you do the bumblebee, that's for
Well,
sure.
yeah, and I'm going to try that on this little thing
Here,
here.
come here.
What's that, Hungarian
here.
Rhapsody?
Come on.
Did you play that?
Yeah,
Stay.
I wouldn't want to try
Yeah,
something
just
like
stay
that
up
on this
there.
piano in here,
Oh,
and,
okay.
you know,
Just
because
stay
the
up
keys
there
are
and
not
wait.
fast enough for something like that.
Yes, you do.
Let's see,
I understand.
Just wait.
Asaph, what features do you look for in a better piano?
say it again?
What features do you look for in a better piano?
Well, first of all, the action of the keys. See, these keyboards were not designed for doing legitimate classical music, you know, when you're doing that lightning stuff, because the keys, the action is not quick enough to allow you to do something like that. So I like to take those pianos that have real light touch, real light action when you're doing all
And
this.
it's also electronic sound.
Yeah,
versus
and these things are so
regular sound.
monotone. Instead of getting this effect like this, you know, for expression, it's just turn the knob up and down, and that's about it.
computer chip
It's-
away.
It's so mechanical and not
Mm-hmm.
romantic to me. And that's why I don't really like doing performances for real on keyboards. I just think they sound terrible, and they play bad, in my opinion.
Well, when the piano was created, there wasn't electricity back then, so it had to be manually done by hands.
Yeah, but they had what's called a clavichord in the early pianos.
Yeah, and then they got fancy with the
And then it
harpsichord.
came the harpsichord leading up to the piano. They called it a pianoforte was the original name, and they shortened it and called it piano. But it didn't have that monotone turn up and down when they had the clavichords and the harpsichord. They just had shorter strings to get that tinny sound. Like, for example, this, I don't know if this thing will do it, but
I had fun with the keyboard once. I was in the mall at Southgate. There was a group of teenage girls that were out in the lobbyway. And so I noticed that one of the keyboards in there had sounds of dogs on it, right? So I made these dogs, basically these women, these teenagers, basically look for teenage dogs that were invisible. So they were looking, this was comical. They were going, did you hear these dogs? Maybe they escaped from Petland.
Yeah.
You
I thought
know.
it was Ave Maria. It sounds a lot like it.
Mm-hmm.
So the people at Radio Shack had a fun time with me.
What?
I found a keyboard in Radio Shack one time. There was a group of teenage girls, and I had them looking for invisible dogs because I made all these different noises, different volume tones of dogs. So they thought a whole bunch of them escaped from Petland. So they were looking for these invisible dogs. I had the ladies laughing at Radio Shack that worked there. They were just laughing so hard. They're going, they're really looking. So that's when you can have.
Schubert wouldn't have stolen it.
I don't think so.
That's when you can have fun with the keyboard. It's when you want the special effects. Because I had on mine, it has a telephone ring, so you can make people think a telephone's ringing when it's not. And you know, because it takes batteries, not just a cord too. And then you can also make them think there's Martians and other little special effects. It's pretty cool. Spontaneity is wonderful.
That's the way it was back then, see? Monotone.
So do you play the organ also?
Nope.
You probably could get organ sound on this though. Is there organ sound on the computer on the
I slowed
keyboard?
that ending down on purpose so you can hear the notes with that.
Is there organ sound on
Well, I
there?
would have supposed. Let's find out.
Because then you could do like maybe a Christian ballad, a gospel ballad.
Well, they call this a pipe organ. Let's see what this sounds
Pee-wee,
like.
it's not that
Well, a
hot,
pipe organ
baby.
sound on a digital piano like this is hard to play, because when you turn the pipe organ sound on, you still have the piano action.
That's pretty close. You'll be fine. I know you want more water.
You remember a television show called, a radio show called Unshackled?
Mm-hmm.
That's their little theme song. They had this professional organist obviously playing
I thought that was the Lord's Prayer.
it. It is. They use that, but they do it on an organ on Unshackled.
Oh, yes, okay. Yeah, that's true, Unshackled. They used to have that on SOS radio, like in the
Yeah.
middle of the night, like 3 or 4 in the morning.
I never heard of them.
SOS radio?
Nope.
They have it here in Missoula, too.
Oh.
KMZO, I think. It's in Hamilton and Missoula. And it's mainly
Is that like
centered in
public
Las
radio?
Vegas. Well, it's FM, but it's simply contemporary Christian music
Okay.
and Christian speakers.
Yeah, they have that kind of channel out in Montrose, Colorado, where it's basically all Christian music whatsoever, you know, a lot of Christian rock. It's either that or you deal with just public radio.
Yeah, it's there are speakers like that they have feature like Chuck Swindoll and Dr. Charles Stanley and Focus on the Family and Dr. Tony Evans.
Yeah, I'm familiar with every single one of those people you mentioned. Wonderful preachers.
Right here.
Wonderful
You
preachers.
have to wait.
They all have a unique
You have to
style
wait.
of deliverance. Now, Tony Evans is like in your face. He's like, and Jesus, son! I'm not trying to pick on him. God bless him, but he's like right direct in your face, you know. And others take a more.
My favorite is Chuck Swindoll.
Yeah, I like him. He to me is
Oh, you
more.
stay out of here.
Um,
I don't want to.
No, not biblical. That's not the word I was going to say.
Biblical.
They're all biblical. I was just going to say he's just more like a teacher to me.
Mhm.
Chuck Swindoll.
I thought Benny Hinn was pretty interesting. He has a pretty good sermon and stuff, but he,
Who?
Benny Hinn, he's on the TNT,
Ah.
I think CBN, I think that's what it is. He had gotten under controversy because he had a lot of nice materialistic things, right? So there was people that was scrutinizing, going, you know, if you're in religion, you don't need a lot of money and all this stuff. So he basically almost gave everything away till his wife said, no more, Ben,
You
stop.
know, let's talk about that for a second. First of all, wealth is not wrong. The Bible doesn't say wealth is wrong. It doesn't say money is wrong. It says the love of money. There's a big difference.
That's right.
And you know, people get their nose bent out of shape over these Christians and pastors that have material wealth. There's not a thing wrong with that. If you get that wealth honestly, not swindling some 90-year-old out of her life savings, but you get it honestly either through work or an investment or something, there's nothing wrong with that.
And that's what
Amen.
And there's
Proverbs-
nothing in the Bible that says you have to be dirt poor because you're a pastor.
Money,
Yeah,
money
you
just
do.
is a necessity, and if you want
You
to
have to
show
have
that
that.
you
There's nothing wrong
accomplished a
with
few
that.
things, that's okay.
You know why people have this misconception of if you're a pastor or something, you have a lot? It's because of the swindlers in the past
That's
that
it.
were trying to swindle money from folks.
And it also says no monetary
Or
gain, so.
tithe.
But
No, it's not.
Have connected a church and state
I
connection.
have a personal
Yeah.
friend who's
Utah's
a pastor. I won't
favorable
mention
for
his
that.
name. He lived in a 7-bedroom house, he and his wife. And his wife had some physical disability, so that made her life comfortable. And every once in a while, they would have Bible studies in his home because his house was big enough to accommodate that. You know, and they would invite people from his church over to his home. And it was just the most comfortable Bible studies you could have. And so he and I talked about that one day, and he said the reason he got into that wasn't necessarily because he had a job. He had like this investment he did as a young man as far as real estate and just an honest way of making it. And he was able to acquire that to take care of his wife. Just the sweetest pastor you'd ever want to know.
Well, that's what Proverbs said.
A Bible-believing pastor. Like I said, I'm not going to mention his name, but he's a personal friend of mine, and he lives in comfort. And there's nothing wrong with that, but if it weren't for the swindlers, there wouldn't be none of this taboo that you got to be dirt poor because you're a pastor.
Well, that's the yin and yang of it.
Correct living brings prosperity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know, some people. Well, here's
Well,
what my
like
teacher once told
like
me.
Salt Lake City, Utah, I would have a hard time living there because I don't believe that you have to belong to any church to get ahead, and that they should be the way they are. Sometimes, you know, if you decide that you don't want to be in that religion.
Well, let's
you
talk
know.
about that love of money, for example, that interpretation. When it says love of money, you know, some people say they want to be rich. Okay, I understand that. But when they get to a point where they will do anything to get there at the expense of their family, expense of their friends.
Yeah, that's wrong.
That's when it's wrong. That's the love of money. But to acquire it through an inheritance or a gift or something happens in your life, there's nothing wrong with that. And if it weren't for the swindlers, like I mentioned earlier, there'd be no people being afraid of some pastor having a lot of money.
And that's one of the reasons why there's so much scamming and stuff going on now because
I
of the
understand that,
drive.
but I mean,
They want a shortcut. You don't get a shortcut by impersonating somebody unless you let them know. Unless you're making a movie, you've gotten permission to be Elvis Presley or somebody. You don't get to just be that person. You have to be yourself and work
another
hard.
thing too, and you probably know
Work
this,
hard.
in entertainment and stuff. It's not that an actor is better than somebody else when he makes $20 million a picture. He just happens to be in an industry where they can afford to pay an actor that much money.
Or they worked hard to obtain knowing how to
And
be
that's
that
what my
character.
one of my teachers once told me, and his take on it was, look, if you're fussing about some actor making millions or some sports player, just do what they do. That's it.
And
that
have
sets
the
people
heart
up.
and soul. Have the
That
drive to
sets people
be.
up. Stop
that
fussing
kind of
about some
person.
guy making $10 million. You don't like it, you get out there and do the same thing he's doing, and you
Yeah,
have your $10 million.
exactly. Hard work goes a long way. And then you got good memories, hopefully, along with some bad, but it balances out. And then you have that knowledge to pass on to help somebody else, mentor somebody else. So that way they have a direction, because a lot of young people, they don't know what they're doing, you know. Just like a toddler. A toddler has to learn how to walk before they can run. And they don't worry about money. Children don't even know about money until they get about 9 or 10. Then they start realizing, oh, I got to have money for that candy bar. And then they understand. But a lot of people don't understand that money's just a necessity, you know. You can't make shoplifting a profession. It's not working. It doesn't work that way.
That was one of the first 45 RPMs I bought when I was like 7 or 8 years old with some sort of money that I'd gotten for doing odd jobs or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
That was your
The Sound of
reward.
Music, and I can't remember who sang it. It was from
Julie
Broadway.
Andrews.
Julie Andrews.
No, it
Well, she
wasn't
wasn't the
Julie
original.
Andrews.
There was a Broadway
Oh.
The
version.
original. Was it?
Sandy Duncan was the
No,
one.
it might have been Mary Martin.
That sounds right. I
Okay.
think it was Mary Martin. That sounds right.
Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't remember that because that was my mom's time.
It had Hank Williams on the other side.
Well, see,
Oh, wow.
to have Julie Andrews do it in the movie version,
that's a
that worked
twist.
because
It
she
was
was
kind of strange.
she
Yeah.
was gifted enough, and with her voice, it would draw more people than the original people.
Well, of course, and she
You-
was younger.
You
Yeah.
were probably,
Much younger.
Linda,
Yeah.
you were
And,
probably going,
I
wow,
have
how could he be
another
in
friend of
Broadway?
mine- I have another pastor friend who had the actual recording of the real Von Trapp family. And I heard that.
Wow.
I heard that recording. The Von Trapps did the same music that Julie Andrews did in film. And of course, their version, it was the same melodies, but a little different, obviously, because it was the real Von Trapp family.
Yeah, and they're from
Probably sang
Germany.
it in Austrian.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
from
know.
Germany.
It sounded really good. They did Edelweiss and all the rest of those songs, and
I had to learn
the real
that.
Von Trapp family. I got to actually hear them.
I had to learn that. I kept saying, I was talking to a guy who's from Austria, Germany, and I go, oh, Australia, like the kangaroos. He goes, no, Austria, like Hitler. I said, oh, okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. Okay, I got it. Did he sing? Hills are alive with the sound of music. My heart is alive. I never know. Very dramatic, yes. You're getting an Academy Dog Award.
There it is. Sound of music.
Now, how do you keep your concentration and play so well while people are talking to you?
I've been doing this all of my life. That's
So it's
probably one
second
reason.
nature.
It just becomes second nature after years and years and years and practice doing that stuff.
Just like with me, when I first started doing karaoke and singing with amateur bands, all the eyes staring at me of the audience was great for attention, but then I kind of got stage fright. So I had to come up with my own technique. So I learned that if I can find like a crack on the wall or a picture out of place, I'll sing to that nail. I'll sing to that picture,
I'll tell you
and
the
that
best way
helped
you
me.
can- Yeah, and I'll tell you the best way you can overcome stage fright. When you're on a concert stage, you can't see your audience. They can see you, but you can't see them.
Oh, that's perfect.
And
for me.
so with the lighting and everything, so like the people in front, these look like a bunch of dark heads.
I can
And
do
that
that.
helps overcome stage fright because you can't see them.
Yeah, that's good.
And then another thing too, what makes people get nervous and afraid is they're always wondering, what is that person going to think of me while I'm up here playing?
Yeah, I
If
don't
you
worry about that.
reprogram your thinking and don't give it a second thought what they're thinking, because you're not going to please everybody anyway.
Right.
Don't take yourself so serious. Just get out there and play and have fun,
Mm-hmm.
and you're relaxed.
I stand up and make them worry about what I'm thinking.
See, people are always worried when
That's
they
a
got
good
bunch
thing
of
there.
eyeballs looking at them. What are they going to think of me? Don't do that. Just go. It's just like being in your bedroom practicing. Just get out there and play.
Kind of like the movie Coyote Ugly, the leading actress there, she says, I can't perform my own songs, I can't. So then the guy that's interested in her, he goes and gets all these cardboard cutouts of celebrities going, okay, and she goes, no, it's got to go deeper. So she turns the lights down, and she does just fine. And then when it comes to her time to audition, again, she almost walked off stage. So Mr. O'Malley's over there by the lights, and he turns everything off. And she's going, oh, okay. So then she starts singing a cappella, and the band joins in, so then she's able to do it. And that was based on a true story of a girl that went from New Jersey to New York. And so it just, everybody has their own approach, but for me, it is easier if I can sing over the heads of people. And then they think, oh, they're looking at me. And it works better that way. Because stage fright can really, it's like anxiety attack, and you freeze.
You won't freeze if you just know how to reprogram your thinking and realize you can't see the people looking at you anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what helped me overcome that. You can't see them.
This is from Young and the Restless.
Yes, it is. Have you been watching that lately?
No, I call soap operas as the stomach churns. Tune in tomorrow when I eat something bad or
Well, you know,
something goes
soap
bad.
operas, let's talk about that for a second. They have changed over the years.
Well, I like.
I've seen some scenes on soaps, I'm like, they got that on television?
Well, Telemundo. That's where they got the idea.
No, I'm talking about the regular television shows like The Young and the Restless, like I'm playing, and The Bold and the Beautiful.
And General Hospital, yeah,
Oh
they've
my
changed
goodness.
a lot. But then they have like Arrow. They have these series of the superheroes, right, and Flash and that. If you watch it enough, though, there's a story about each character. So each week, you actually are in the character's soap opera. No matter what they endure, no matter what they go through. So that's the theme with everything. You've got the good and the bad going on, and you're going to survive and be an overcomer, or you're going to bow down a little bit and say, okay, how do I get around this and come up with another plan? But every episode, the writers know they have to continue that on, and it turns into a series of a night soap
I mean,
opera.
the soap operas, they were tame in comparison to what's out there today.
Well, you had
The early
Dallas.
soaps.
They tried the new Dallas now. They got the new Dallas.
No, I mean, I
Not slamming.
I looked at The Bold and the Beautiful, just about 10 minutes of it just the other day, and they had these two guys on there that were fighting over this other guy. I was like, what?
Yes, that's the 20th
I have nothing
century.
against people if they're gay, but I was just shocked that they would have that on a soap opera. They was like these chiseled dudes, right? And you know that I'll never look like that, but anyway, they were fighting over this one guy. You took my husband from me. This is like this good-looking guy was saying. I was like, oh, holy cow! Where have I been on the moon for for a few years?
They're bringing more and more of that kind of thing out, and I
So
think
that
some
was on
things
soap-
should
that
still.
was on a soap- that was on a Bold
I
and
think
Beautiful.
some things should still be put off to the side. If it's daytime TV, especially, you know that sometimes children may not be in school, and not everything's Sesame Street, but still you have to go to a certain structure, because if it's daytime TV, you still got to think, okay, there are families out there that are watching. And our children are very perceptible, and they mirror everything, so we have to be careful how we do some things.
Well, you know, I agree with Patty at one point. I mean, I know they want this tolerance. That might be one thing, but do they have to put that on daytime, like 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Well,
or-
you know, television, just like everything else, is commercial. And they have to fight for their audience, and if they don't have somebody that has a new angle, or something sensational enough, they might not have the edge over another group.
Yeah, your advertisers are very picky, you know.
Everybody badmouths business, but basically it's a fight for survival.
Yeah, yeah. It's who's got more clever and who's got the best methods to draw in the crowd. You know, I myself, if I had my way, when they do children's shows, I would have total commercials that view to that. From cereal commercials to Fisher Price. That's what I would do if I was the one running the broadcasting thing. And leave out the syndicate, because the syndicate, when you bring in politics, that's when things start going a little haywire. Because it's a bunch of total strangers trying to sum it up for millions of people, and that's not feasible all the time.
Is that Flight of the Bumblebee?
in slow motion, yes.
I was going to add to the not being self-conscious was most of the live shows that I've done were either musical reviews or musical shows. So I had a character to be in, and just being in character kept me from being so self-conscious, I think.
Right,
You
right.
know, for example, I did Jacques Brel. Jacques Brel is alive and well and living in Paris.
Okay.
And I did several songs from that. Well, each song has a different character.
Right.
And I would just get into the character of each song, and I didn't notice the audience.
I did that when I worked at Head Start, when I did story time, the way I would get the 4 to 6 year olds, because that's a lively group. They get bored so quickly, so fast. So what I would do is I would do kind of like Robin Williams did in Mrs. Doubtfire. I would animate each character. I'd change my voice. And the teachers would be expecting and hurrying to have some problem. And every time they came by, they're all sitting down calmly, they're laughing, and they're enjoying the story. And so the teacher's like, I guess we go back on break, huh? Yeah, let's go back on break. Patty was like, oh, I can't believe it. She's got 30 kids sitting down. Wow, you know. But sometimes that's what it takes to get the attention, because people, especially people like the hyperactive and stuff, their attention span gets bored quickly. So you have to keep up. It's a consistent keep up.
Well, also they need to feel that it's not just words on a page.
Right.
And that's a real entity, a real,
And I've learned that by writing stories and publishing poems and stuff. You have to really think of the overhaul of your audience that's going to be intaking everything that you write, everything that you put out there, And you want to have a positive experience, and you're not supposed to please everybody. You're really not. If you can get the majority, you're doing good,
Well, for story time, if you put different characterizations on the characters, you will hold their attention.
Yeah, and that's
they
important.
might get a lot more out of it that way.
Oh, yeah, because I mean, before I started working at Head Start in Missoula, it was kind of comical. These teachers, there were so many teachers and more children than there was teachers, and they were just having a real heyday. And I'm like, okay, well, let me try a few things, and the supervisors and everybody was going, yeah, go for it. And then what I tried, it actually worked. So I had to think, you were dealing with children here, so you have to think young. You have to think like, what if I was still in preschool? What would I want? And that's basically how you keep it going.
With my beginning speaking students, ninth graders, I always had my own storytelling unit. And they had to find a folk tale like Stone Soup.
Right.
Or
I did a play with that.
Or a fairy tale, and memorize it. And reduce it to 10 steps, and memorize it. Know the steps backward and forward, not memorize words.
Right.
And then, except for things like, who's that trundling over my bridge?
Right.
know.
Right. And characters work best.
So they just repeated those things, and then they could keep in mind the steps of it, and then just tell in extemporaneously or impromptuly somewhat, while they were telling the story to the children. So if the child interrupts and says, well, what was that? They could deal with it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
worked really
That was
well.
the fractured
Yeah.
fairy tales. I don't know if anybody
Oh,
recognized
I
that
remember
from Rocky
that.
and Bullwinkle. I'll do it again.
Oh, when they had a calm moment and Rocky wasn't flying around.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. And there was Boris and Natasha.
And Snaggly Whiplash.
And Snidely Whip.
I had
and
the
Deadly
entire-
Do Right.
I had
Remember
the-
that?
I remember Hans Conried.
Yeah,
Who was
I
the
have the
voice?
entire Rocky and Bullwinkle collection. I have it.
Oh.
I have the entire collection.
We're all moving to your house.
You
I also
know-
have the original pilot, the pilot to the Rocky and Bullwinkle.
I always
First
thought
one
the
at every
perfect
war.
person to
Yeah,
play
I have the pilot.
Dudley Do Right in a movie would be Jay Leno. Because his face, his chin, he looks just like Dudley, And so I was like, you should actually be the one instead of Leslie Nielsen. You should be playing that because you have the look. And he said, thanks for writing me. I'll think about it.
Well,
But those
the
were fun. Those were fun.
casting
cartoons.
isn't necessarily their choice.
Right.
A lot of times they don't have access to parts that they'd like to.
Yeah, well, you have to look
Or
at
they
the
even get rights
directors.
to films and then they can't get the backing.
Well, that's why I love Steven Spielberg's. And he started DreamWorks. He's got it going on because he thinks about how things are going to relate to people, and he's very good at casting. Very good. He knows
But
how
it's
to
a
do
different
it.
time too. It's easier to cast these days with all the technology and stuff compared to the old days.
Well, nowadays they learned that from The Crow. When Brandon Lee ended up later getting killed, but when he got killed on the set, they still took parts of him and had computerized it into the rest of the movie, or they wouldn't be able to finish it because he didn't get to finish the whole movie.
I don't know if you know this or not.
What?
So,
What's the name of this?
Oh, I know that song.
Inspector Gadget.
You should know that.
Yeah, with the actor Don Adams.
Now that the game's over, I'm jumping in.
Tennessee Tuxedo. I don't think people remember those. Tennessee Tuxedo, Underdog.
Do you know why they took the underdog off the air? The real reason? Because the syndicate and stuff thought that he was giving out the impression that if you take a pill, you can
Yeah,
fly.
that was crazy. You know,
And I'm like, oh, no.
When he would get weak, he would take a pill, an energy pill out of his ring.
Yeah,
And then when we started getting politically correct,
yeah.
then
So
they went after Underdog.
they were
because
afraid.
When Underdog first came out, it was in 200. It was in 200 countries around the world when that first cartoon first came out.
And it was awesome.
And he
And
was
then
the
Hong
first-
Kong Fooey.
He was also the first cartoon
Hanna-Barbera.
character to ever be, flat sideways on a Macy's parade. Underdog was the first one to ever do that to get more airtime.
But then the
That's
political
how
correct
popular
people,
that cartoon was. And
they
then
went
the-
overboard.
Yeah, the politically correct folks came in there and they went after poor Underdog. After 10 years, that cartoon was on the air for 10 years on a rerun.
But the thing that's got me now is they took it off the air, and now there's like millions of people. What are they doing? Popping a pill. And it has nothing to do with Underdog and nothing at all.
Yeah, I know. It's just crazy. I mean,
So their plan went down.
sometimes it's overkill, in my
Moonwalking
opinion,
away.
with this political correctness. It's just overkill. It's like walking on a tightrope. Just say the right, the wrong thing, just anything. It's like you got
People
coming
can lose
after
their
you.
jobs if they say the wrong thing.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
The
mean,
First
it's
Amendment has been
overkill.
trampled on
It's
so much,
overkill
and we
to
have the
me.
right to the First Amendment. We have the right
Wonder how many
to
words
be ourselves and
that a
express.
person could put together, the words that you must not say. And then the other book of words that you must say, whether you agree or like them or not.
Well, if they got a bunch of people like me that are dyslexic, they'd have a field day, because if words actually were said how they're spelt, we'd have the most gibbered language of English.
And on that note, we're going to have to stop this because the hour has almost gone by. And we've covered quite a bit of topics here. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this Name That Tune version of Asaph Cafe with our guest, Jack Wiegman, and Linda Brooks Curtis, and of course, Patti Reed, our veteran guest, and Pee Wee, our mascot. And I hope you guys had fun, and I'll make sure you get a copy of this, both of these episodes, and it'll be on a few weeks from now on channel 189 if you have cable charter, or just go on the computer, mcat.org, click watch now,
Or YouTube.
or
And
YouTube.
thank you, Asaph.
No, thank you. I mean, you guys did me a favor. I mean, this is just an
This was
impromptu
fun.
show. It's a very impromptu show where I just invite a guest every week. And, we
And it's
play.
very educational.
Well, I don't know about all that.
We'll learn
good
about
for you.
music and everything with it. There we are.
Don't take a pill.
And,
Don't take a pill and be an
unless
underdog.
you're
Try this
an
at home.
underdog, you know. Let's see if I can remember that. Something like.
Underdog.
Oh, I don't know.
And now Pee Wee's alive to be underdog. the
And
next
then on
one.
that note, we're going to have to let Pee Wee be underdog as I sign off. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this version, and until our next show, Maranatha. Turn your mic off. I'll shut it down and finalize it. I went by real fast. This show was longer.
Good.
Thank you for doing that. It was fun.
Thank you for having us here.
I had to do a few things because